Today I'm going to be showing you 10 tips and tricks in Minecraft. I'll be covering survival tips, creative mode tips, and many others. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting with number 1, the 9-9 trick. The 9-9 trick is the most effective and easiest way of finding buried treasures. When in the general area of where you know the treasure is, open your F3 menu and look at the block coordinates under XYZ. The bracketed coordinates are your chunk coordinates, which shows where you are in a chunk. When the X and Z numbers are both 9, dig down, the buried treasure has been found. Number 2, keyboard shortcuts. For container shortcuts, you can shift click an item to instantly bring it into said container, along with being able to pick up a stack, and shift plus double click another stack of the item, and it'll bring all stacks of that item into the container or your inventory. Pressing F3 and Q will bring up a list in the chat of all F3 shortcuts, which can be very useful, such as the F3 and B shortcut, which shows hitboxes, F3G shows chunk borders, F3T reloads texture packs, and 11 more very useful F3 shortcuts. Another simple one is when wanting to drop more than one of an item instantly, you can press Ctrl plus Q and it will drop the entire stack. In creative mode, there are 3 shortcuts I'll be covering. One is when looking at a container, sign, or command block, and pressing Ctrl middle click, it will bring the item into your inventory along with all of its MBT data. So for containers, it's the items, signs, it's text, and command blocks, it's commands and conditions. The second creative shortcut is when wanting to clear your inventory, holding shift and clicking on the trash button, it will clear your entire inventory. The third is the saved hotbars shortcut. This is one of the most useful shortcuts in the entire game. The saved hotbars is a tab in the creative inventory where you can save hotbars. When pressing C plus one of the 1 through 9 keys, it will save whatever's in your hotbar to that tab, depending on which number you choose. 1 is the top row and 9 is the bottom. Number 3, a quick one I'll be covering, is for smelting, but when using a single coal, it will smelt 8 items, but when converting 9 coal into a coal block, it will smelt 80. And when doing the math, that's an extra 8 items you can smelt instead of 9 coal. Personally, I don't use this because I always have a buttload of coal, but if you find it useful, that's great. Number 4, boats. They seem like an easy early game way of traveling around, but they get immediately dethroned when using a horse or an elytra. But when these babies get put on ice, packed ice, or blue ice, they can pack some incredible speed. On ice or packed ice, boats max at 40 blocks per second, and on blue ice, 72.7 blocks per second. To craft blue ice, you need 9 packed ice, and to craft packed ice, you need 9 ice, so to craft a single blue ice block, you will need 81 ice blocks.
Say
ice.
again.
Fuck you!
With how many ice blocks you'll need, it may not seem entirely worth it, but when combined with nether travel, where in this dimension each block is a total of 8 blocks in the overworld, I can travel thousands of blocks through the overworld in seconds. This travel method is incredibly useful late game when needing to go to many far distance areas in your world. Number 5, the Nether Roof. Since I was just talking about nether travel, it seems only right to talk about the easiest way to travel in this hellish, dangerous dimension. Below and on top of the nether, it's slapped with bedrock. Now the bottom is useless, but the top is what we're looking for. The way to get on top of the nether roof is by using ladders and ender pearls. Warning: before going on the nether roof, bring more than 10 obsidian and 1 flint and steel. If you do not, you will not be able to make a nether portal and will be permanently locked on the nether roof. To actually get on the nether roof, we need to dig up until we hit bedrock and dig around until we find a piece of bedrock that is pretty high up with no other bedrock below it. This can take a bit, and to detect a safe one easily is to open up your F3 menu, and when the targeted block's Y value is 127, we've struck gold. Place ladders leading to the Y127 bedrock, and when at the top, keep holding space to stay at the top. Bring out your ender pearls and throw them when looking at the top of the ladder, and you have made it to the nether roof. What you can do to make sure you never have to do this again is to break the bedrock. This feat may seem impossible, but it's actually fairly easy. To do this, you will need pistons, obsidian, trapdoors, TNT, and levers. Firstly, mark down what your Y127 bedrock you want to break is with a sideways facing piston. Then place an obsidian on the back and side of it. Put 2 TNT blocks behind the most back piston with a lever on the side of it. Lastly, place a trapdoor on the front of the obsidian next to the piston, and when done correctly, you will have this. To do this easily, I would suggest installing an auto clicker. Go to this link and download and install the auto clicker. When installed, configure the auto clicker to the right mouse button. Now all we have to do is hold pistons and stand here. Now flick the lever, open the trapdoor, and position your mouse to hover right here. Activate the auto clicker, and if the piston is facing the same way the previous one was, you will have broken bedrock. Now we just clear out our bedrock breaker, and we now have a clean and easy way to access the nether roof for easy travel. Number 6, auto mining. This is usually done by using mods or rebinding your right mouse button to your space bar and putting your phone on it. An easier way to do this is to start mining and hit F3 and T to reload resource packs, which will trick the game into thinking you're still mining when you're actually not. So you can now watch a movie while getting that valuable cobblestone and skyblock. Number 7. Replacing blocks. A fast way to replace a block in creative mode or in survival mode with insta-break blocks is by left-clicking and right-clicking the block at the same time. This will instantly break and replace the block. This can even be used with floating blocks, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but this is also a game with floating trees, so who cares. Number 8. The Debug Stick. This nifty tool is only accessible through cheats. What it can do is when used on a block, it cycles through all variants of said block. So if I right-clicked on this fence, it would cycle through each type of fence, so I would get a fence with the sides sticking north, south, east, and west. This can also be used with left-clicking with cycle through different types of variants you want to cycle through. Number 9, the carpet trick. Have you ever wanted to breed your animals, but when opening the fence gate, they all just rush out? Well, when placing a carpet on fences, it will let you jump on it, being able to get in and out of the pen, but your animals are just too stupid to do it themselves. So many animals won't rush out of the pen when you want to breed them. Number 10, the spawn chunks. The spawn chunks are a set of 16 by 16 chunks around the world spawn, which are always loaded no matter where you are. This place can be super useful for farms you want running a lot, but don't want to AFK for hours. The spawn chunks are also not hard set on their location, which means when using the set world spawn command, the spawn chunk center will move to that spot. I hope at least one of these tips were helpful to you. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.